Hey again, everybody. I wanted to share a dream that I had back February 19th, 2021. This dream is special. All of the dreams from the Lord are special, but this one is very special to me. Um, so a little background before this one. Um, my husband and I we do like DoorDash delivery and Uber delivery. We kind of like do both. But for means of income right now. And uh so that gives us a lot of time in the car, and we get to talk about things, and it's really neat to have that time together. Um and something about me, I feel things very deeply. I think about things deeply. I analyze things sometimes too much. um, so it's a good thing and a bad thing. But I feel stuff. I really do. I feel things so deeply. And again, that's a good thing for sure, but it can be a bad thing. And I have had a burden, a really huge burden for some of my family members for a long time. And that night, my husband and I had been talking while we were out working, and I I started getting really emotional because my burden, as we were talking, my burden for my family members, these certain ones, it like got so overwhelming because I know that we are in the end days, okay? We are in the last of the last days. We are in that last generation, the end of the last generation. We are getting ready to go into the tribulation times, and so much is going to be happening, and there's not much time left to for you to be secure in your eternity, like in heaven versus hell. I mean, we're right there. And of course we don't know when we're going to pass away. Some people will pass on before this. And so we, even if we weren't in the end days, you always need to have that security, um cuz you just never know when you will leave this earth. And so anyway, um as we were talking, I had this huge burden um for my family, some of my family members, and my husband took one of the deliveries up to their house, and I just I just broke down. As soon as he left the car, I just broke down. It's not because I couldn't cry with him in the car. It's just I just wanted that time alone. I couldn't wait. I was just holding it in cuz like all I could think about was picturing, okay? Because that's how I am. I was just sitting there and I was just picturing some of my loved ones in hell. And they're such beautiful people, they're such beautiful souls. They're such wonderful people. And I sit there and I feel it. I feel it so deeply. And so when he left, I started crying, and I cried out loud to the Lord. And I'm like, I literally got to the point where I said, Lord, I can't handle it. I can't handle the pain of thinking about this. I need you to do something, right? Like, I can't handle the thought of them going to hell. So I was clearly having a battle over it. And I had a talk with the Lord, and the good thing is we can take all of these things to him and we can give them to him. And he gives you peace. And he did. He helped me get through that night. And well, that night when I went to sleep, I had a dream, and this is the dream that I had. And it was encouraging for sure. Um so during this dream, um, I was in three different forms of transportation. The first one that I was in was a car, or maybe our vehicle now, I'm not sure. The second form of transportation that I was in was some kind of like, um, I don't know, helicopter or plane. And the third one was a like a camper trailer, kind of like an RV, because in the dream my husband was driving it and I was in the passenger seat. But it was small. Okay, so that's just like letting you know that much right now. So in the first part of the dream, my husband and I were in the car and we were going down a road. I don't really remember too much else about it. But I do remember that um we had like we were there was something we were doing. We were going somewhere. Very specific, obviously, but it was like end times. It was like we were on a mission. I don't know how else to explain it to you, but it was like it was really important. The Lord was telling us where to go, okay? And we were going there. Okay? And then in another part of my dream, uh we were in this I thought it was a helicopter, but it just doesn't make sense. So I'm not really sure exactly. Some kind of plane or helicopter or something. And um so as we're flying, all of a sudden we are completely surrounded by all of these little drones. Okay? Um I never dream about drones or anything, so I mean this was really weird, but it was literally like what you would imagine, like a swarm of birds, but it wasn't birds, it was drones. I mean, there was tons of them and they completely surrounded our aircraft. And there was this one drone that I've kind of looked at, I fixated on, and it was like they it's like they had like these cameras facing out, and it was like they were looking at us. The drones were looking at us. They're getting like live feed from somewhere. And this one drone came and it like was looking through the glass. And it was just like kind of something you would see in the movies where you're getting like scanned by something. It was this red laser scanner, and it scanned us. It scanned over us from the outside of the helicopter or plane or whatever we were in. It was small, and I knew in the dream it was like, okay, we've been detected. We know, they know, whoever they is, somebody bad, someone who kind of gave me the impression of like, we were kind of like on the run, maybe, or like we were being hunted down for probably something with our faith, or with the fact that we weren't receiving the mark, or it had that feel to it. Like, I can't give you the details because I don't really know, but that's sort of the feeling, the what it was like about. And so we got scanned, and then this big helicopter, this one I know was a helicopter, a big helicopter, comes from somewhere and it flies over top of our aircraft. And I saw the piece. I saw this piece that was on the bottom of that helicopter, and it was a circular piece, uh and it had like these three little triangular like cutouts in the bottom of the piece. I am not good at explaining this, but that piece, from my understanding, is something like a key that that helicopter would like lower itself. It lowered itself on top of our aircraft, and that circular piece like hooked onto a piece on top of our aircraft, and like it turned and it like locked into place. So it could literally cart us somewhere. Like it was almost like we were under arrest in this way. Like something you would see out of a movie. It was crazy. And um so I don't know where we went. I don't know what happened. And you're like, I thought you said this was encouraging. Sounds like you just got arrested. Well, it's because the next part of the dream, this is all one dream, but it was like scenes changed. And the next part of the dream, I was in the passenger seat and my husband was driving, and we were in that like RV or camper, whatever you want to call it. And some of our family members, some of the ones that I specifically had been crying out to the Lord about, were in the back, sitting on couches. And we were in the front. And we were out like in the middle of nowhere. I remember what the road looked like. I remember the scenery was very like not desert, but very well, there was no buildings anywhere, and there was no other vehicles anywhere. It was like we were alone out in this wilderness. Um and here's where it gets really really cool. So okay, um so one of my family members who doesn't really believe like a lot of the things that are going on right now, um she was in the back. Um, and I kept like turning around and I was talking to her, and she was like starting to understand finally, like where we are, what day it is, what's going on. She was starting to like, she was honestly like putting all the pieces together, and it made me so happy in the dream. I was ecstatic over it. And so we were like discussing events, which I'm not going to put those events, I'm not going to say what those were because a lot of it's like political stuff. But anyway, um, and then next thing I know, in the dream, I'm facing the road, and my husband's like, okay, which way do we go from here? And all of a sudden, I don't know if you guys have ever um, seen or heard or maybe had a rain stick before. Have you ever heard of a rain stick? um, so a rain stick is like this instrument, and you flip it over, and it all these little pieces inside of it move. They like fall through it, and it makes the sound of pouring rain or pouring water, and it's called a rain stick. So if you've ever heard one of those, you know exactly the sound I'm talking about. Well, all of a sudden, I heard what sounded like a rain stick being flipped over. And every time I would hear it, I would look up at the sky. And when I would look up at the sky, the most amazing thing happened. Uh, I saw this literal path light up in the sky. So, just like how somebody rolls out a carpet, like a long red carpet or something, that's kind of the idea. It was like this beautiful, it looked like a rainbow, okay? It was like something like a rainbow, and it was these beautiful purple colors. There was a little bit more colors on the edges of it, but it was basically like this really rich, it's undescribable purple colored, like I'm gonna call it a rainbow, but it wasn't shaped like a rainbow. um the first thing I saw, I heard the rain stick, and I saw a literal purple rainbow in the shape of a rainbow. And then after that, it disappeared. And then the next time, and every time I would hear this rain stick sound, it would unfold across the sky, like which way to go. And it was literally like a road in the sky, and we were like following it on the ground. If that makes sense at all, I don't know. And it would like curve left or curve right or go straight, and that's exactly what we would do. We would literally follow the curves of this rainbow like road in the sky. And it was purple and it was beautiful, and it was almost like sparkly but kind of like see-through. um Absolutely beautiful and amazing. And then after a while, after we would follow it for a little while, it would disappear, and then I would hear the rain stick noise again, and it would like roll out the next, like, I don't know, like mile or two that we would follow. And in the dream, I was giving instructions according to what I was seeing because nobody else in the car could see it. So I don't really know why that is. I'm just telling you, like, it doesn't mean that I'm special, okay? I'm not more special than anybody else. But that's just what happened in the dream. Like, nobody else could see it, and I was trying to describe it to everybody and like to my husband, like which way we're supposed to go. And um I don't know, like some of the family members were with us, and it was so so encouraging. And I will say the part about the drones, we were not afraid. My husband and I, we were not afraid of anything that was going to happen. We had total peace the whole time. But that's kind of where the dream left off. Like, I don't remember if anything else happened after that. Um and it was just so amazing. But yeah, that was the end of that dream, and I I've been looking forward to sharing this one with you. I needed to share previous ones first. And I don't know if I'll share any more tonight. I have for sure one other one that was very very recent. But my phone's about to die, so we'll see. Anyway, have a blessed night. God bless you all. Bye.